Hey everyone. Welcome to Top Tech News. This is your news channel for getting updated with the latest tech news headlines and their impact on business and our lives. To read the full news article for any of the news that we cover, simply click on its link given below in the description. To stay updated, show us some love and hit the subscribe button below and turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. This way you would be informed whenever we upload a new video. Hi, my name is Dee and I am your host for today. Today's top headlines are: Xiaomi announces 15 inches laptop with E4 OLED display, 14-inch model with 120Hz LCD follows. Apple A15 chip for iPhone 13 will reportedly start production in May, 4nm chips in 2022. DisplayMate details OnePlus 9 Pro's A+ score, close to textbook perfect calibration. Realme 8 Pro and 8 unveiled with 108MP main camera, 50 watts dart charging. Tesla explains how dumb it is to buy a car with Bitcoin in its own disclosure. Let's get started. Xiaomi announces 15 inches laptop with E4 OLED display, 14-inch model with 120Hz LCD follows. We weren't expecting new laptops at the recent Xiaomi event, but here they are. And not just one but two at that, the Xiaomi Mi Laptop Pro 15 inches and 14 inches. The 15-inch model boasts an E4 OLED display. This is the same type of panel used in Xiaomi's flagship smartphones. It is very bright for a laptop screen with 600 nits peak brightness and features DC dimming. The 3.5K resolution of the display makes for a sharp 261 ppi pixel density, while the aspect ratio is 16:10. And it borrows another thing from smartphones: Gorilla Glass protection. The 15 inches laptop is powered by 11th generation Intel Core processors. An i5 is standard with an i7 option. In both cases there's a GeForce MX 450 GPU with 2GB VRAM. Cooling is handled by two fans. It has a 66 WHR battery that supports fast charging at 100 watts. On the connectivity side, there is a Thunderbolt 4 port plus two USB-C ports. Xiaomi is including a free port expander dongle in the retail package, which adds a full-size HDMI and a USB-A port. The laptop is quite slim, measuring just 15.9mm. The chassis is made out of 6 Series aircraft-grade aluminum. It is on sale now, starting at 6,500 Chinese yuans, about $990 or 845 euros, for the i5-powered model with 16GB of RAM and 512GB SSD. The i7 version is 8,000 Chinese yuans and comes with the same memory configuration. Xiaomi also created an AMD-powered version of the 15 inches laptop with a Ryzen 5000H, 45 watts, processor. This one is coming in May. If you want something more portable, there's the Xiaomi Mi Laptop Pro 14 inches. It's slimmer and lighter at 15.6mm and 1.5 kilograms, respectively. Its chassis is similarly made out of 6 Series aluminum. The display switches to a 120Hz LCD with 2.5K resolution, also with 16:10 aspect ratio. This model also gets a Core i5 or i7 11th gen processor plus GeForce MX 450 GPU. Its 56 WHR battery charges at 100 watts. There is only one port, Thunderbolt 4, so you'll really need that port expander. Both laptops have Wi-Fi 6 connectivity. This model will start at 5,300 Chinese yuans, about $805 or 690 euros. This is for a Core i5 with 16GB RAM and 512GB memory. A Core i7 with the same memory will set you back 7,000 Chinese yuans. Pre-orders will kick off from 26 April and sales will begin on May 1st. Apple A15 chip for iPhone 13 will reportedly start production in May, 4nm chips in 2022. Apple will continue its prosperous manufacturing relationship with TSMC for at least the foreseeable future. According to a new report from DigiTimes, the Apple A15 chip will begin production in May. The production schedule lines up for the iPhone 13 launch in the fall. The A15 chip will use the same 5nm fabrication size as the A14. And the companies are already preparing for next year's performance leap too. Although the fabrication size for the A15 is unchanged compared to A14, DigiTimes say it will use an enhanced manufacturing process. Apple and TSMC's relationship has been very successful, with the companies quick to adopt new process sizes. The A14 chip was the first mass-produced chip to use 5nm. 5nm is part of the reason why Apple's M1 chip in Macs is so much more performant and power efficient than the Intel chips it replaces, because Intel has been struggling to keep up on process die size. Its latest CPUs use 10nm fabrication. Apple is keen to keep the lead. Digitimes says the company has already ordered TSMC's 4nm supply, which will start production in late 2021. Digitimes speculates that this will first be used in a new generation of Mac chips. If production is ramping in late 2021, you can likely expect the first Apple products featuring 4nm chips to hit shelves in the spring of 2022. As the A15 will be staying at 5nm, this means any performance/efficiency improvements will be found mostly through architectural changes thanks to Apple's expertise in silicon design. This timeline is not an atypical. In fact, it follows the established trend of using the same process size for 2 years. Apple and TSMC led the industry with the first mass consumer 7nm chip with the A12, and then stayed with 7nm for the A13. Similarly, 10nm was used first in the A10X and again in the A11. DisplayMate details OnePlus 9 Pro's A+ score, close to textbook perfect calibration. DisplayMate did an early review of OnePlus 9 Pro's LTPO AMOLED screen. The excellent A+ score was used in the marketing building up to the official announcement of the phone. How did it get an A+? It set or matched 13 smartphone display performance records. The results of 5 of those were visually indistinguishable from perfect. The screen's natural mode can automatically select the right color gamut for the content, sRGB, DCI-P3 or various other standard and non-standard gamuts. If you prefer vibrant colors, the advanced AMOLED wide gamut mode covers 139% of sRGB and 110% of DCI-P3. The 9 Pro came close to having the widest color gamut ever measured by DisplayMate. The screen also got high marks on contrast accuracy and intensity scale accuracy. It's bright too, brighter than 8 Pro's screen, with different modes prioritizing either brightness or color accuracy. The advanced AMOLED mode proved better at retaining color gamut in bright indoor and outdoor lighting. Speaking of the bright outdoors, the OnePlus 9 Pro has only 4.4% screen reflectance, again one of the very best measured by DisplayMate. The screen was one of the brightest ever tested with auto brightness turned off and the high brightness mode pushed out an impressive 1655 nits. Realme 8 Pro and 8 unveiled with 108MP main camera, 50 watts dart charging. Realme put the number 7 in its rear view mirror and introduced the Realme 8 and 8 Pro. However, just because something is behind you, it doesn't mean it's gone. In fact, looking at the specs, the 7 series may haunt the 8 series as the two have a lot of similarities. The new phones are not without their upgrades, of course. But before we dive in, we should note that there seems to be a geographic division between the two new models. The Realme 8 Pro is coming to Europe next week and it will be available in India as well. The vanilla Realme 8 is headed to India, but we haven't heard anything about a European launch at this point. It will be difficult for the Realme 8 Pro to escape comparisons with its predecessor. The obvious upgrade is the main camera with its 108MP sensor. However, a few things are the same and there are even some regressions, so the 8 Pro is not a clear-cut upgrade over the 7 Pro. Even the Realme 6 Pro is not easy to dismiss. All 3 models are powered by the Snapdragon 720G. It's a chipset that Realme knows and loves. And it has spent a lot of time optimizing Realme UI to run on that particular chip. Along with the C25 that was announced, the 8 and 8 Pro are the first to come with version 2.0 of the UI out of the box outside of China. Memory options are the same. You can pick between 6GB and 8GB of RAM while storage is always 128GB. But if you need more, the dedicated spot for a microSD on the triple card tray makes expansion easy. This is a dual SIM phone with 4G connectivity. There is exactly one reason to buy the Realme 8 Pro, the 108MP Samsung HM2 sensor. It has 0.7 micrometers pixels and supports 9-in-1 binning. Final image resolution then is 12MP. It's a large sensor too, 1 by 1.52 inches with an f1.9 aperture, so it serves as a solid base for great low light imaging. The sensor also natively supports zoom up to 3x. Since only 12MP of the full sensor is used, the phone has enough processing power to snap 8 frames and merge them into one final image. According to Realme, the end result is better than a photo from a camera with a 3x lens. The large sensor covers the hardware part. The updated Super Nightscape mode handles the software part. It has a sibling in the Ultra Nightscape video mode, and for patient stargazers, Starry mode is now available for videos too, the first such mode on a phone. If you have an hour, the phone can snap 240 frames, each 15 seconds apart, and string them into an 8 seconds video that shows the movement of the night sky. The 8MP ultra-wide camera has a lens with an f2.25 aperture and 119 degrees field of view. Finally, A2MP macro cam and A2MP black and white camera round up the quartet on the back. On the front is a 16MP selfie camera, IMX471 f2.45. Speaking of the front, the Realme Pro has a 6.4 inches Super AMOLED display. It's not quite the same panel as on the 7 Pro, this one is brighter with a peak of 1000 nits. Another upgrade is the 180Hz touch sampling rate, but that is of limited use when the display refreshes at 60 Hz. Moving on, the 4500 mAh battery promises up to 20 hours of uninterrupted YouTube videos or 8 hours of gaming. And the supplied 65 watts charger can refill half of it in 17 minutes, the other half takes 30 more minutes. Note that the phone actually charges at 50 watts. Given everything though, it seems Realme might still have a mass mover on its hands. Tesla explains how dumb it is to buy a car with Bitcoin in its own disclosure. Tesla now accepts Bitcoin as payment, yet in its own terms and conditions, the automaker pretty much explains why it isn't such a hot idea to buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. Recently, Tesla announced that it is starting to take payment in Bitcoin in the US. The move follows a $1.5 billion investment that the automaker made in the cryptocurrency earlier this year. It sent the price of the cryptocurrency, which is already infamous for being volatile, higher. Tesla's support of Bitcoin has been controversial due to the cryptocurrency's extensive use of energy conflicting with what Tesla stands for in terms of combating climate change. Putting that aside, there's also the question of whether or not it actually makes any financial sense to purchase a Tesla vehicle using Bitcoin. Now that we have access to Tesla's terms and conditions of Bitcoin payment, it looks like Tesla itself is admitting that it doesn't make a lot of sense. The disclosure includes simple things like making sure you input the right digital wallet number and the right amount of Bitcoin, but it also issues several more important warnings. For example, Tesla acknowledges that Bitcoin is volatile and the automaker only provides the price in US dollars with an equivalent Bitcoin price that is only available in a temporary Bitcoin price window. Therefore, while you are buying the car using Bitcoin, you are really buying the car at its USD value. That leads to a bigger problem in the case of a refund or a buyback. In the case of a refund, Tesla doesn't have to pay you back in Bitcoin nor the amount that you paid in Bitcoin, but only the value in USD that is listed in the bill of sale. With the kind of price swings that Bitcoin has been experiencing, someone buying a Tesla with Bitcoin could overpay by 50% within a few days of the purchase. We really think that there is no value of using Bitcoin to buy a Tesla at this point. It could be that Tesla is trying to help legitimize its own investment in Bitcoin and maybe attract the business of some people that became rich off Bitcoin. But apart from there, we don't think one should be buying a car with Bitcoin. Well, that's about it for today. Hope you found it helpful. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. And do show us some love by clicking on the thumbs up button. Have a wonderful day everyone, and we will be back again soon.